Hello, everyone! We have an exciting news day in the world of Transformers. I love big news days where we just kind of get to talk about new, exciting stuff and we kind of get to wonder and speculate, and it's a lot of fun. So, we got a brand new list of leaks from the Transformers computer base, I presume over at Walmart, because that's usually where this happens first, showing off a ton of new listings for Transformers Evolutions and Studio Series, so we actually know quite a bit of upcoming product. Now, of course, all of this is subject to change. We've seen these lists shuffle around. We've seen names change. But for the most part, this gives us a good idea of what to expect and what to start getting hyped over and what to really get excited for and just speculate wildly, which is always the most fun. So, we're going to go about this in as logical of an order as I think we can, and we're going to start by getting the package refreshes out of the way. Package refresh, when you see PR at the end, just means it's a reissue. It's just a reissue in a new box. So we're going to make sure that we get those out of the way because they're the least interesting of the batch. It starts with the fact that we're getting Deluxe Tarantulas again in Evolutions. Fantastic deluxe figure, worthy of a second run, and of course, popular character. Doesn't really shock me. And also considering not a lot of repaint options for the standard Tarantulas. Maybe his original colors, but it's kind of better for a selects release. But not surprising, they're going to try to get a little bit more use out of the toy. Beyond that, we have another package refresh for Dirge to go with a Ramjet that was previously listed. So yes, if you missed out on super difficult to get Seeker Voyagers, that is going to come back into stores, so you'll be able to get that much more easily. And then we'll go on to the things that are a little bit more, we kind of expected it, and there's not a whole lot to say other than, hey, that obvious thing they're doing, that's actually going to be done. So we'll get those out of the way now. That starts with Frenzy. Or I should say this. Frenzy, parentheses, red. Because now we have Rumble, parentheses, blue. So, namely, this is going to be the opposite of the Studio Series 86 one. Hasbro usually does make the red one Rumble because that's how the toys work. But because it's Studio Series, they're accurate to how they were called in the movie. The red one is Frenzy. Don't blame me. That's what the writers of the show and the movie did. Not my fault. Not Hasbro's fault either, I think. I think no one... I think that blindsided everybody. Either way, yes, confirmation. We're getting the red one as well. We also confirmed the core class Ironhide. Again, pretty much expected that to happen. We're pretty much told it was going to happen, but it's nice to have confirmation that yes, that's actually going to be a thing relatively soon. A core class Thundercracker as well. We can actually complete the core class Seekers. So, again, no real shock or surprise there. It's just more or less, does he actually come with his proper weapons? Does he come with Skywarp's weapons more appropriately? We're still waiting on those, because that slingshot ain't cutting it. And then, yeah, we also got confirmation for a Voyager Ratchet being released. It is really nice, after all the debacles of the last Earth mode vans, that we're actually getting them again, but this time they're all going to be normal retail. They're not Amazon exclusive. They're not multi-packed. They are not Walgreens exclusive. It's just a normal retail release for Ironhide and Ratchet. Really nice to see. Took them way too long to do it. But that should help alleviate a lot of the crazy prices that the deluxes from Earthrise go for. So hopefully we all get some really nice van Transformers down the line. I believe that takes us into some of the more interesting territories. And this one, there's a few. There's a couple here that we still have like question marks about. There are still 2 deluxe Junkions listed. We've known about them previously, but one has been renamed into Junkhook. I believe that was the name. Let me scroll and just make sure. Where is it? I completely lost it. Scraphook, I apologize. Sorry, Scraphook, whoever you are. So yeah, we've got Scraphook on the way. It's a deluxe class, and we're not exactly sure what that's going to entail. We don't know. Well, okay. Well, to be fair, this one doesn't actually list. We know previously there were deluxe Junkions listed. This one did take the place of one of them, the previously reported Junkion 1, which if we double check that one really quick, yeah, that one didn't have a size listed either. We might actually just be looking at a, honestly, it might just be a grapple retool. That would be pretty simple, kind of lame, but that might actually fit. But it's still technically a mystery. We do have one that we know is a deluxe. We do have one Junkion on the list that we absolutely know is a deluxe. We have no idea who that's going to be. No idea what it is. I found this image on TF Wiki and I thought, yep, perfect for the situation we're in with this character. All we know is Junkions are not just going to be Voyagers. That's all we really know. And that we've got a surprising number of Junkions lately. It's kind of weird. Like, we went from like barely being able to get a Wreck-Gar to like having like its own subline of them. It's fascinating. There's also a listing for Wild Rider, but it's a very weird listing. You can see it here where it says Gen Legacy EV Evolution, Robo Wild Rider. It's super truncated, no less. All the vowels taken out. It's a weird choice because we know Wild Rider's on the way, and this could just potentially be where Wild Rider's gotten slotted in, but it's a very weird, it's a very weird naming. So maybe maybe a mistake in the system, maybe a code word, maybe it might not be him at all. It might just be a placeholder. We don't know, which is what's making this so odd. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not a package refresh. It doesn't say package refresh, because we know, like, Wild Rider's out now. But we don't know. This is just a really bizarre listing. So maybe want to keep an eye out on, because it might end up changing. We do know that there are more package refreshes on the way. I will say that. The Cheetor and Wheeljack that were previously listed, those got pushed back, but they are not canceled. So those you'll have another chance to get. I don't see them doing that with Stunticons, though. So I'm lost. I am absolutely lost. Let's talk to the names that are just now like coming up for new toys, and these are the more interesting ones out of the batch. So we have a Beachcomber listed, and it's at the deluxe scale. So we're continuing this line of the mini-bots getting upgraded to deluxe class. Beachcomber's never been like a terribly complex transformer. I'm interested to see how they actually get him to become an interesting and like involved transformer at the deluxe size. That would also open up. I think that would open up a few interesting repaint options down the line too, because we need that dune buggy for a couple characters. Maybe. But it's going to be cool to see him again. I kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that I get a G2 out of this, because I grew up with a G2 Beachcomber, so I really kind of like one in metallic green, if that's possible. But yeah, the mini-bots are continuing. We're actually running low, because we're also getting Brawn. And this one I was actually really excited for. I was thinking the other day, like, if a Legacy Brawn was done the way that a lot of these toys have been done lately, it'd probably come out pretty cool. Yeah, he's long overdue. Long overdue. And with him joining the Legacy line, that really doesn't leave a whole lot of mini-bots that haven't been covered at this point. The only one I can think of offhand is Power Glide, and I'm not even sure Power Glide would be appropriate at the deluxe scale. It's been a long time since we got a Power Glide, now that I think about it. But, like, beyond him, the only things that are left would be retools of what we got, If we get a Brawn, obviously at some point we're going to get an Outback, Things like that. So, I'm not entirely sure what's going to become of him, but, like, for what we know we're getting, I really like having a Brawn. Like, that's one that I've been really, like, hoping that they finally get around to. We have a Bombshell listing. So we have we now know that by the time next year's Transformer toy line is done and we're ready for the third part of Legacy, that the Insecticons will be complete. We have the Shrapnel listing previously. Now we get to talk about Bombshell, who's probably, I think, the most interesting in design of all of the Insecticons. So it seems like they've done it backwards based on like who's the most boring. We'll get them out first. Sorry, Kickback. That just happens to be you. I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. It all kind of hinges on the color scheme that Shrapnel is going to be in. If he's using the exact same yellows and purples and black as Kickback did, we're good. Because the last set could not keep the colors straight. They were all different shades that threw them off, and I didn't like it at all. So fingers crossed this one goes a little bit more smoothly. I think it will, though. They're pretty hard set on accuracy this time. Shadow Striker is a really cool name to come up here. I'm really happy that Cyberverse names and designs are actually here and present in the pool here for Legacy. Now the trick here is what Shadow Striker it's going to be. Because engineering-wise, of course, the easiest thing to do would be to just, do her original symmetrical design that we saw her in during flashbacks in Cyberverse. But it's not who she's known for. She's known for that asymmetrical look. But that would be really difficult to convey, especially if in a toy world where things need to be redone and retooled. So how do you manage to get an asymmetrical design out of its character? Now, there's part of me that would take advantage of it and actually do an animated lockdown from the same mold. That's just me. If I'm trying to figure out how to split the two here. My thoughts. More than likely, it's going to look like Shadow Striker from Cyberverse. Deserves to have a really good toy, but it's most likely going to be more symmetrical in design. I'm more or less just happy more girl bots are actually coming out, and less of them that seem to be dependent on being repaints and retools of each other. It's a far cry from, every female deluxe is the same mold over and over again. This is way better. This is way better already. Speaking of girls deserving new toys, Strongarm, I think, was one of the more exciting ones for me because I love Strongarm from RID 15. I think she'd be a great presence in a modern Transformers fiction, especially lumped in with Prowl, who's she's the young rookie who got partnered with the veteran. You could do buddy cop adventures with Prowl and Strongarm. I think it'd be fantastic. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for brand new. I'm hoping for 100% new tooling, but I could also very easily see them just retooling Ruckus into Strongarm. I could very easily see that being the shortcut they take. I could also technically see her being a Brawn retool at some point, though I think Brawn is going to be a little bit too stocky to make Strongarm out of, but I could see Hasbro attempting it because they're both trucks. I don't know, but it does leave me hopeful because I really do want a really good Strongarm because she had some pretty good toys as it was. I'd really like to see her at full Generations budget level and articulation. Detrius is another weird name to come up on this list because there isn't a recent toy that actually fits. It's a straight-up repaint of Hound who hasn't had a toy since Siege. And he's actually very conspicuous in his absence as one of the few toys from Siege that didn't get an Earth mode figure later on. And now this is by the time this toy is out, we're going to be 4 or 5 years separated from that Hound figure. So is it even an appropriate mold to use? Is it going to be comparable to the current toys? Is it going to be an oddball out, or are you actually going to do a new Jeep and for some weird reason start it as Detrius and then retool it into Hound later? That'd be weird. That'd be a weird way to do it. But again, Detrius is a Junkion character. You see where I'm like kind of like striving, like, wow, there's a lot of Junkions coming up all of a sudden. I don't know, it's fascinating because it's more or less. I'm kind of more interested in it based on, are we going to get a new hound out of it, or are they actually going to dig out a 5-year-old mold for it? We're going to find out, aren't we? And then there's the one I think everyone got the most excited for, which is Devcon. Never would have called this. Well, actually, I might have. I can't remember the video of predictions I did last time. But Devcon is a super rarity in Transformers G1. A character who had an entire episode devoted to him, but did not get a toy. Super odd, right? Yeah, so cool character, independent Autobot, spacefaring Autobot, which we really do not see often. I am really excited to see what he's going to be, because he's a deluxe, so we really don't have any mold out there that really, like, honestly, Devcon is definitely a character that kind of strikes me as like retool fodder for some other spacefaring deluxe class toy, but I can't think of any offhand that would actually fit or be appropriate. So is he going to be a brand new tooling? And I have no idea. Like, I have no idea how you handle the character. But it's exciting. Again, it's super cool that a character with this level of obscurity can actually get a modern retail release. That's actually kind of cool. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what they do with him. And then we have something super interesting. So, like I said, this is, there's nothing listed to double check it or confirm, but it feels like this is all product listing from a Walmart computer. If that's true, then that makes this this last section even more interesting. So we have all of these listings marked capsule. Capsule means exclusive toy line. Buzzworthy Bumblebee is a capsule line for Target. Velocitron is a capsule line for Walmart. And if that is the case, that means that we are getting more Velocitron figures. Now, we already know that we are getting more. We saw Crasher leak. We saw Shadow Strip leak. The G2 drag strip with a brand new name, which is fascinating that they're actually making a separate character out of the G2 Combaticons, apparently. Not sure how they're getting, I'm not sure how that's happening. That might be why there is a Robo Wild Rider listed in Legacy. Who knows? But what's interesting to me here is that we have 6 new deluxes, well, 5 new deluxes and a package refresh, 1 Voyager and 2 leaders. Now, we are already trying to figure out what the next leader class in Velocitron is going to be. Now, we don't know if this is going to be number 3 and 4, or if this is, I presume it's going to be 3 and 4, because they didn't make any notation that, oh, by the way, this is a previous listing again. So I'm presuming this is all new, and this is actually what we're looking at for Wave 3 of Velocitron, which would be really cool. And I feel like that's how they're going to repaint all of the Stunticons at this point. The question is, who is it? As we're already trying to struggle to figure out what leader mold fits Wave 2, now we got to figure out 2 more for Wave 3. And, of course, legacy leaders are going to be a thing by then. So what is left? What's left for us to actually handle? What I like here is that we're getting a package refresh in Wave 3, and I absolutely believe that is going to be Cosmos. I mean, if anyone is going to get a package refresh, it's going to be him, based on his popularity. And I know Hasbro probably expected that demand, but we have to remember, you're not selling directly to a collector base who's going to ask, yes, do that figure, do that character that hasn't gotten a new figure in a long time. They're dealing it with distributors who don't know any better. You know, they just see the catalog, they put it in the computer, and then the computer just, sends it off to the stores. So it has to look cool to them, the people who are actually, technically ordering this stuff in the first place. So they're not going to care about the 50s UFO. That's why it's short packed. So I feel like this is a way of making up for it. I feel like we're going to get a second chance at Cosmos if we missed out on it before. The rest of this, I got no clue whatsoever. Not a clue whatsoever. This could be part of Wave 2. This could be part of Wave 3. Crasher and Shadow Strip could be amongst these. No idea, but man, the idea that more Velocitron is coming out, that's exciting, especially because they sneak in some really interesting brand new molds in this toy line as well. That has me interested. So, what do you think, guys? How are you taking all this new info, all the new stuff that we know is on the way now? Let me know what you're hyped for and what you hope some of these mystery listings are. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Me just kind of rambling about rumors. But I think it's fun and exciting to speculate. So we can speculate away. And until then, I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.